What's up you guys, and welcome to my channel. If you've ever wanted to invest in real estate but you really don't have any idea where to start or don't have a lot of money to get started, today's video is going to be a game changer for you. I started real estate investing in 2017 when I bought my first fourplex with my wife. We made it our first home purchase, and now we rent out the other 3 units and we live in one, and they pay for our mortgage. And so it's called house hacking, if you've ever heard of it, or if not, you can look it up. But that's basically what we did back in 2017. And recently in 2019, I started a partnership with my best friend Ricky, and we flipped our first home that should be closing at the end of this month. And we'll be posting a story here for you guys on how that deal went, how we got it, how much we made, all that kind of stuff. We'll be putting on the channel for you guys. But with that being said, I'm not some crazy expert, but I'm in the process of real estate investing myself, and I've learned a few things in the past couple years about real estate investing that I think could greatly benefit you. The stuff that I'm going to be talking about today really helped us gain the confidence that we needed to move forward in our business, even though we had no experience going into it. So let's just go ahead and get started. Have you ever seen one of those ads, maybe on YouTube or Instagram, where it's this guy and he's standing in front of a bank and he's like,
you see this $12,000 check? I just made this check by flipping a house, and I didn't need cash, I didn't need credit, and I have no real estate license. And you can do it too if you click the link below.
Well, if you've ever seen one of those ads and you're like, what are they talking about? That sounds really interesting, but like, just tell me what it is, right? Well, today's video, we're gonna discuss what it is, because I actually bought one of those courses and it was $2,000. I bought it from a guy who wasn't one of those like flash in the pan, advertising like all over the place. No, I bought it from a dude who runs a podcast, and he seemed really legit, and he does a bunch of flips. So I was like, you know what? I wanna buy the course from this guy. I spent $2,000 and I learned everything I needed to know about what we call wholesaling real estate. Now, if you're unfamiliar with wholesaling real estate, a quick definition is basically this, is where you find a motivated seller, whether it be due to life circumstances like a death in the family, maybe a divorce, or even, someone just needs to sell the home to make money because they need to pay some bills. Well, you find that person using marketing, and then what you do is you ask them to buy it for a specific amount. Now, whatever the amount y'all agree on, they sign a contract, and you then have equitable interest in that property, which basically means that you can now market that property to someone else that can buy it for cash. So what you do is you connect a seller to a cash buyer, and usually there's a fee in between, which is called a wholesale fee, and that's the money that you make. So for example, if you found a really rundown house and someone needed to get rid of it to pay some bills, or maybe they were getting foreclosed on and they didn't want the house to go to the bank, then you come in, you say, hey, I'll offer you $40,000 on this really beat up house, and they say, hey, okay, awesome, I will take that $40,000. You then take that deal and you mark it up $5,000 to another buyer. So that buyer could be an investor or anybody who wants to buy that home for $45,000, and you connect the two people and you make the $5,000 when the deal closes. And congrats, you just made your first $5,000 investing in real estate, and you didn't have to buy anything. That's what's really cool about wholesaling. There's not a ton of risk involved, but it does take a lot of time, and you have to know what you're doing. So the question then becomes, how do you find deals? Well, you have to market for these people. Have you ever seen one of those signs that's like, I'll buy your house for cash, or we buy homes, and it has a number on it, and it's just put in a lawn somewhere or on the corner of a street or put on a telephone pole? Those people are wholesalers, or they may even be people who fix and flip, but they're looking for a motivated seller that needs to sell their home quickly. And the reason you can't go with a real estate agent when you do this is because they need it done quicker. And when you go through the real estate agent process, it usually takes anywhere from a month to 45 days to close on a deal. And these people usually need it done a lot quicker than that. So that is the advantage of having a cash buyer in this situation. Another way to market for these people is to do direct mail campaigns. Now, I don't recommend this because it costs a lot of money. Each stamp alone is going to be about 35 cents if you do a postcard, and so that can add up really quickly. So I don't recommend this when you first start out with wholesaling, because it's going to cost a lot and you may not have that much money to start out with. A more cost-effective way would be to go driving for dollars. Now, this is a term that people use when you drive around in neighborhoods looking for beat up properties, something that looks vacant or maybe not well taken care of. And then what you could do is, once you find a bunch of addresses of these rundown houses, you can actually skip trace them. Now, a quick definition of what a skip trace is: if you've ever been convicted of a crime and you don't go to the courthouse, then someone gets a warrant out for your arrest, And what you can do is you can skip trace where that person lives or any information that you have on them, run them through the software, and you'll get addresses, you'll get emails, all kinds of stuff so that you can kind of track this person down. Well, you can do the same legally for someone who you're looking for to buy their house. So let's just say you find a beat up house, you put those addresses through the software, and that software sends you back a few numbers, maybe even some emails that you can start calling and say, hey, I'm interested in buying your home. What's really cool is that a lot of the softwares, they only charge you about 15 cents to 20 cents per lead that you're plugging into their software. So you can easily see it'd be a lot more cost effective to call these people than to send them a direct mail postcard. So once you skip trace someone's address, you find out their information and you start contacting them, you submit an offer to them and they may accept it. Now you have to look for a cash buyer. Now a way that you can find cash buyers is by marketing this deal on Facebook Marketplace, maybe even Craigslist, or just using word of mouth and asking people around if they know any real estate investors. Now, ideally, you want to know these cash buyers before you even go into wholesaling so that once you find a deal, you know who exactly to send it to. And if you ever find a deal and you don't have a buyer, hit us up. I'm going to put my email right here in this video so you can email us this deal and we'll go ahead and look at it. And if we can't buy it, we'll help you find someone who can. So once you find that cash buyer, you go ahead and assign them the contract and you get the fee in between when the deal closes. And again, this may seem super easy, but it takes a lot of hard work and it takes time and consistency. A lot of big time real estate investors that I know and that I watch online start with wholesaling real estate. There's a guy named Max Maxwell who he's like the godfather of wholesaling. He says that wholesaling real estate is the gateway drug to real estate investing. And I think that's kind of funny because it can get you started, and once you get started with real estate investing, you may just get hooked. Our goal is to wholesale deals, fix and flip, and once we're done fixing flipping and we get a lot of profit from those deals, we're then going to acquire rentals. And really, rental income is the end game if you're investing in real estate. And the reason that is because it's monthly cash flow and you're having properties appreciate in value over time while other people are paying off loans for you. And so really in return, you have to ask yourself, well, how much money a month do I need to retire, or do I need to be financially free? And that should be your goal when it comes to owning rental properties in the future. But a great way to get started, guys, is to start wholesaling, and once you get those profits up, you can move on to fix and flips, or you can do what me and my partner did, is start with fix and flips and then move on to rental properties so that you can become financially free. Now, today's video is just a brief overview, but what I've put together for you guys is a 30-day challenge by Max Maxwell, where he goes in detail and discusses day by day what you need to do in order to get your first wholesale deal in about 30 days, which is really cool. And it's got all the detail you need. He's constantly going to be referring to different YouTube videos that he's posted and different websites that you can go to get free trials and stuff like that. And in that video, which I'll link right here, is going to be all the links to his websites and YouTube videos. I'm going to put them on the description for you guys so that you can go ahead and watch that and learn exactly how to wholesale real estate if you want to get started and don't have a ton of money. Guys, I hope you appreciate this video. If you like videos like this, please consider subscribing. Smash the like button for me. I'm Ben. Garcia in the next one.